progressive electeds and the progressive activists are the ones that have had our members back day in and day out ever since I arrived in Vermont. And it's a huge distinction from the other political classes here in the state. And I want to say thank you to Anthony, Chris, Susan Hatch-Davis, Martha. I'm looking forward so much to working with Cindy and David and other folks in the Progressive Party, because I think folks realize that if VSEA and the state workers that we represent are treated respectfully and have fair working conditions, it's good for all of Vermont. It's good for them, their families. It's also good for the communities that they serve, providing important state services. And I'm especially proud that our retired President Ed Stanek ran such a distinguished campaign for Attorney General. He was absolutely tireless, and everywhere I went, the Stanek mobile was already there for the last couple of months, and he made our union, and I know all of you, very proud with the excellent job that he did running. I wanted to say a couple of things. I wrote them on this post-it note, and I can barely read it. But I was, the VSEA had an opening for an executive director, and the board did a nationwide search, and it took like 4 months, and I'm the result of that. I'm a trade unionist. I've done it my entire professional career, and I came most recently as a senior negotiator for the California Nurses Association in Northern California. So the leadership of the VSEA, which is largely new, our president John Reese has been in office for about a year, there's a lot of new board members. They wanted somebody to come in with some union experience and revitalize the Vermont State Employees Association, bring the VSEA back into the workplaces of our members in state government, and deliver the union back to the workers that are our members. What's happened over time is that we have, the union has become a public defender's office with a lobbying operation. But we have to the union has divorced itself somewhat from what's going on in the workplace. And as you all know, being Vermonters, the union members are some of the smartest, most committed, most active folks in the state. But those folks have not been in recent years expressing their activism and enthusiasm through their union. So it's an untapped resource that we really need to tap back into and bring people into the fold and start working collectively. Now, when I got here, a couple of things were really urgent. The Vermont State Hospital announcement that the administration made last December, they were not going to rebuild it in the same way that it existed before the flood. And then more recently, the Vermont Veterans Home, actually just devolving into a morass of regulatory problems, mandatory overtime for 200 working women who are the direct caregivers down there. And what has happened in both of those instances is that when the union showed up and said, we will facilitate your collective action to improve and enhance your work life, our members stood up. And our members stood up in a big way. And I know some of the legislators were here for the Vermont State Hospital campaign here in the building. It was absolutely breathtaking to see dozens and dozens of VSEA members in the building every day advocating for their patients and advocating for acute mental health care in the state of Vermont. And that kind of had a ripple effect across the union. Si se puede message went out that if there are things we care about, our union will stand with us and we can make change. So that's what we're trying to do right now. And the members just voted for the largest dues increase in the history of VSEA, a 28% increase, and they voted by 2/3 majority for that dues increase. It's rather extraordinary. But I think our members are ready. They want to step up. They want a union that is there to provide the mechanism, the training, the mentoring, for them to be able to take collective action to protect and enhance their work lives and to protect the services that they provide to Vermonters. So what I wanted to be able to say to all of you is thank you. Stand with VSEA and our members. If VSEA is reinvigorated as a democratic and activist union in this state, it changes everything about Vermont. It is the sleeping giant that has not awoken for many a moon. And when Ed was president, he did so much to activate our membership around the state, and those folks are still around. And there are more younger folks in state employment that want to step up. And we have the dynamic that the boss is the state. Okay, so other unions can agitate, and the Teamsters can say, oh, drop the drop the FedEx contract, only use UPS, and the state doesn't get so upset. But when VSEA says, hey, the Vermont Veterans Home is not being run well, the feds are about to shut it down, it becomes, why are you stirring up trouble? So we really need the progressive electeds and the progressive activists across the state to stand with our members, have our back, we will have your back. And that was the message I hope to bring to you today. So thanks so much, Martha, for letting me come.
Hey, thank you.